Sometimes the best way to know what a candidate really thinks is not to listen to what they say with their words, but what they're saying with their gestures. In today's Keller at Large, John Keller brings back a popular expert.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Here we are in the middle of debate season, and of course, you get a lot of information from these debates, but are you aware of the information you're getting through nonverbal communication and how you and others may be reacting to it? Well, that's our focus this morning as we welcome back our pal, nonverbal communication expert, Don Khoury.
Thank you, John.
Don, good to have you here.
You too.
Aren't you going to
I'm going to try and do it. Yeah.
There's a whole thing about the handshake.
I figured, but you're usually on the other side, right?
Well, I could grab you here and neutralize you.
Right.
We'll explain what that means a little bit later on. But Don, before we look at the last Clinton-Trump debate and have you pick it apart a little bit.
Sure.
Tell me, just briefly, tell our viewers, those who might not have seen you before, what the story is with nonverbal political communication.
So what we're able to look at, and you and I have talked about this for 8 years now, is that the nonverbal behavior creates a target effect on the voter that I believe is more telling on how the voter may actually vote on election day than what the candidate might say.
Undecided voters.
Undecided voters, right. Not
committed partisans are not going to be moved.
They're not going to be moved.
All right, let's go right to the videotape.
Okay.
Here, as they like to say in the sports world, this is from the very beginning of the Trump-Clinton debate, and look at their feet. Why are we looking at their feet?
Well, it's interesting, she has her feet on the ground, which is, the right thing to do. He has his feet up, and it makes it, it gives that image of kind of a boyish look versus her having her feet on the ground, which is more of a...
So she's trumping him in this...
She's trumping him, which is a great, All
right, now here's Trump responding right off the top of the debate to the infamous audio tape.
Right.
What do you observe about his language?
I think he's trying to mark each thing with a tremendous amount of confidence. Those moves are very much, let me mark this, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident.
So he conveyed confidence.
Confidence in what he's saying.
Now, did he indicate truthfulness?
The interesting thing about Trump is he's so confident in what he says. It doesn't matter whether, I shouldn't say it doesn't matter whether it's truthful or not. It's that he doesn't leak because he believes what he's saying, whether it's true or not.
So he doesn't tip through his body language when he's lying.
Right.
And that's a lucky thing because he does a lot of lying.
Well, that's up to other people to decide, right?
Well, I mean, the fact checkers have demonstrated Hillary Clinton also gets funky with the truth
Absolutely,
on occasions, but he's really good at lying with confidence.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on to our next piece of videotape. Okay, now this is Hillary Clinton on the attack. What do you observe about her body language?
Well, I think her biggest Achilles heel, I think, is her facial expressions. She doesn't come across necessarily as transparent in that she believes what she's saying, or it's not necessarily, what she believes.
She's not really confident, conveying confidence.
Right, you see that where she closed her mouth there like a U-lip almost, and it's like giving a definite answer, but she's not actually sure.
What does he do that's better in your view?
Well, he's just so much more confident. It comes across as he absolutely believes what he's saying.
Okay. All right, well now, okay, and there's, at the very end there, he kind of made a face.
Right.
He makes a lot of faces.
He makes a lot of faces.
Aren't those bad?
Well, hers are more contemptual. His are more...
Contemptuous, I think.
Contemptuous, sorry, yes. And his are more confident in that you're wrong, and I know you're wrong.
So even when he'll sort of roll his eyes or sneer, that's okay?
That's okay if it's that level. It's not that it's okay, but it's the confidence that he exudes when he's doing it.
Okay, all right. Now let's take a look at our third piece of video before we go to our break here. This is Trump on the attack.
Right.
He's telling her, you should be ashamed. And he pointed at her.
That was negative. He shouldn't have done that.
That's a turnoff to the viewer.
That's a turnoff to the viewer. And... she's coming on now, and
she's waving it off.
She gets it, that it was negative, and so she's coming in aggressive, but I think she's being too aggressive.
How so?
Well, it's this capping off and pointing and moving her body in a way that's, and away from him, and it doesn't ring true necessarily.
You have pointed this out before, and you're hardly the only one.
Right.
She struggles with authenticity.
She struggles with authenticity. If she could get a hold of that, I think that we'd be in a whole different ballgame.
In terms of the race.
In terms of the race and what people are perceiving in the middle.
All right, we'll take our break, and when we come back, we'll look at more video from the Clinton-Trump debate the other night, including the grand finale, and we'll tell you more about what's in a handshake when it comes to nonverbal communication. So please stay with us. Welcome back to our conversation with nonverbal communication expert Don Khoury. And Don, before we get all caught up in all this info we're trying to get over in a short period of time, if people want to find out more about you and what you do, where can they go on the web?
Oh, they can find me at donkhoury.com.
Don, Khoury,
and there's an email address there. And they can,
okay. All right, so now we're going to return to our video clips from Sunday night's debate. And before we, this town hall format.
Right.
They're able to get up and walk around, and there was a lot of talk afterward about the way that, now what do you see Trump doing here?
Well, again, he's trying to create a barrier. He's a protective barrier. He's
behind that chair.
Right, he's feeling vulnerable. Whether you put your hands in front of you or you put an object like a chair, it's the same thing.
So that was an anxious moment in the debate.
Right, he's feeling vulnerable, trying to protect himself.
And in general, there was some, now you're going to see Hillary Clinton walk toward the questioner.
Right.
Who asked the question. It seemed to me she did a much better job of that.
Right.
In talking directly to the voter.
Right. Well, the one thing I did see, she just did this, which would say, put her elbow up, which would suggest that she's not comfortable with what she's saying.
Sure,
so, yeah,
sure.
this, right. So she doesn't want to talk about it. Yeah, it's emotional, right?
When you put up your elbow,
right,
you're trying to ward off.
And it's not conscious.
Right.
It's an unconscious...
At the end there, he appeared to kind of loom over her.
Right.
Now, he actually was a good distance away.
Right.
But there was some comment afterward that he was physically almost intimidating. Did you find that?
I didn't find that. I think that he kept a good space away, and I think he's aware of that, and I think he probably did that on purpose.
Don, is there, just generally now, is it harder for female candidates to get a fair shake in terms of the way their nonverbal communication is perceived?
Absolutely.
How so?
And I would say that women are judged more than men are. However, I would also say that if a woman gets it, then no man is going to beat her. Right? So there's that dichotomy too.
When we did the Brown-Warren debate back in 2012, you scored that.
I scored it for Brown.
You scored that for Brown.
Right, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
Or 2008 or 2012. 2012.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I was wrong.
All right. Let's take a look at this final bit of video, and here we go. As everybody knows, they didn't shake hands at the beginning.
Right.
But here at the end of the debate, watch, they walk out from behind, and Trump
he grabs her, or goes up on her shoulder, right, or her elbow. He's trying to show he's in control of the situation.
Did he convey that there?
I think he conveyed it there.
Yeah.
But everybody conveys it who does that.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's come back in camera, and I want to show what I mean.
Okay.
So you've always said, now I'm in the dominant position because I'm closer to the camera.
And now I can make myself in the dominant position by going here, and even more dominant by going here, right?
Oh my God, I'm so dominating.
Right, but it also looks like, especially if the crowd is there or the audience is there, I'm guiding you, which is also, wow. I'm in charge.
Well, obviously, we've just been able to scratch the surface of what's going on here. But thank you.
For
being here, Don.
Thanks, John.
I appreciate it. DonKhoury.com is the website if you want to find out more about Don and what he does. And I hope you'll join us Wednesday night at 9 for the big debate right here on WBZ, followed by my analysis on the 11 o'clock news. For now, that's it for me. Back over to my colleagues for more WBZ News.